Hi everyone, welcome to the Movie Reception Show. My name's Fariba, and today we're about to watch episode 2 of The Mandalorian. And there isn't really much to really say about, tonight's episode because, again, it's just a continuation of what we saw in the premiere last week. We know that Din is trying to basically wash away his sins for taking off his helmet, not once, but twice, maybe even a third time, I can't remember, but he's taken off his helmet, he's broken his code, and now he needs to somehow redeem himself and get back with his group. So that appears to be his big, story moving forward in season 3. Grogu's is a bit more ambiguous just because, again, a big part of his storyline was basically resolved back in season 2. And now it's like, okay, well, Grogu is just a companion of the Mandalorian, although again it does seem as if this season's still going to continue to concentrate on the relationship, something that's more focused on the father-son duo. But also the trailers did hint that we're probably going to get a bit more of a deeper dive into his origin story, especially regarding Order 66, the day of that, and maybe hopefully we'll learn who saved him that day. But yeah, I mean, with this episode, it's just a continuation of the premiere. Maybe we're going to see more of Mandalore. Who knows? I think it's just going to continue building up just the narration that we're getting so far with season 3. I'm not going to expect that we're going to get to the main part or the juicier parts of season 3 until maybe episode 4-ish, because by then that'll be midpoint. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to see how the season moves forward. So yeah, without further ado, let's watch The Mandalorian episode 2. Hey, she's back.
I don't know what to tell you, pal. Now they'll put a rush on it. But you gotta give me half up front for parts. No. I should charge you more, considering now I gotta work room to eat. Get this thing back together again. Quickly, before he sees you. Go, 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 go. Put those cards back on the speeder. Paint them so they look different. Here you go. Seriously, for 5 minutes of work? You're lucky I'm a softie.
Oh, there comes Mando.
Scram. Go strip another speeder. It's food to eat. It's right.
And here we are, back in Tatooine.
Interrupt just the same. So, where's my guy?
Aww!
There he is!
Oh, my child.
Taught you how to leap like a lemon, huh? Was that his first word? What to me? Did you hear that? He said Pelly.
I'm here on business.
Oh, with the Hut's back? You taking up
I don't know
with
what he
that?
said.
I need a droid part.
Bore.
I'm going to Mandalore. I need a droid that can explore ahead of me and test the atmosphere. Make sure it's safe to breathe.
Okay. Hey, right back here, scaredy droid. Come on now, you gotta shine. This R5 astromech is built for adventure. But, of course you are. You're supposed to be piloting starfighters across the galaxy and fighting tyranny. I wouldn't rely too much on this one. Its circuitry is a little fragile.
I thought you said it was built for adventure.
What? Sorry, I can't. May the force be with you!
Always.
All right, kid. You ready for an adventure?
Look at him. You see fireworks.
It looks scary, I know. But it was once
my
green
God.
and beautiful.
It looks
Back
super
when the songs
scary.
were written. It's Mandalore, the homeworld of our people. Every Mandalorian can trace their roots back to this place. And that's
Aww.
Kalevala, where we visited Bo-Katan. It's in the same system. A Mandalorian has to understand maps and know their way around. That way, you'll never be lost.
Oh my God. It looks crystallized.
Looks like the fusion bombs from the Purge disrupted the... Down here, we're completely cut off from the rest of the galaxy.
I love how Grogu is just listening to everything Mando is saying. Look at Grogu. Oh my god, everything is super crystallized.
R5, you ready? I'm gonna need you to scout ahead.
Oh my god, look at Grogu's eyes. Big eyes. He's curious.
The droid will be fine.
What?
R5, come in. Do you read me? It's probably just interference.
It's sad.
Fine, I'll go get him. Normally this is droid work. I was hoping to...
Whoa. Oh! Oh! These guys look like cavemen. Oh, there you go. He can't even hold it! Oh boy, he can barely control it. Okay. We're going to get some limb splits today. Aww, look at how concerned Grogu is. And not Grogu be happy. Aww.
Hang on, kid. The
It's
atmosphere
completely
is breathable.
breathable. Oh my god.
Bo-Katan was right. Mandalore is not cursed. That's the
I'm
civic
assuming
center.
they got this inspiration from
This is where Bo-Katan
Rome.
said to go.
Oh, more creatures. What is that? Oh. Oh god!
What is that?
It just captured him. Oh, Grogu. Oh my god, Grogu. No, this is too dangerous. Are they gonna roast him? Looks like a robotic insect. It also looks like those creatures from like District 9, from that movie District 9, but like in a smaller version. Oh, Grogu! Grogu, be careful! Grogu, no! Be careful! Oh no. It's too dangerous for a kid. But then again, it's Grogu. Oh, Grogu. Oh, this is actually very dangerous if you think about it.
Get to Bo-Katan.
Child! Oh my god! Child, run, 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 run! Child, run, run, run! Run, my child. Oh god! No! Stop trying to kill Grogu! Oh, baby! Oh, I'm worried about his daddy! I didn't expect Bo-Katan to be the one to save him.
I knew quite a few Jedi, you know. I don't know what they taught you about us, but there was a time we actually got along quite well. Fought side by side. How good are you with the Force?
Oh man, everyone just wants to protect the baby first. That's all that matters to me. Nice. Oh, snap.
Did you think your dad was the only Mandalorian? Those are Alamites, and we were their next meal.
I mean, you better hurry up or man gonna be meal. Oh yeah, there he's trying to make him a meal. Oh, they're trying to drain him. Oh god. Oh, you better start hurrying up. There you go. Like Miss Vicky, she's not allowed to touch Darksaber, but well, she's gonna have to now. Oh snap! That's how you use a Darksaber.
How did you find me?
Your kid. He's tougher than he looks.
That is
He's quite the navigator.
Thank you for rescuing me.
Armor was raised on this since they were his size.
They're sharing cup.
You should rest. I'll get you back to my ship.
Continue to the Mines of Mandalore so that I may be redeemed.
She's like, this is just too
I honestly
radical.
think that it's adorable that you actually believe these children's stories.
Its beauty.
What pains me is seeing our own kind fight one another time and time again. Killing each other for reasons too confusing to explain. It made us weak. We had no hope to resist being smashed by the fist of the Empire.
She right.
There. I was part of the royal family. I took the creed and was showered with gifts. But the rituals were all just theater.
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors that I shall walk the way of the Mandalore, and the words of the creed shall be forever forged in my heart.
What just happened? And I swear to God, Mando became the damsel in distress today. That's a monster. Baby crying. That was a Mandalorian episode 2 right there, and I gotta say, I mean, compared to the first episode, this was definitely far more well balanced in the focus of its story as well as the pacing with what we were going to get. I mean, for one part, I was pretty surprised how we went straight into the exploration of the Mandalore planet, because I thought it was something that we were not going to see until episodes 3 or 4, but that the fact that we went straight into looking into Mandalore and the planet itself, I mean, I guess like it definitely at least saved a lot more time of just trying to prep the mission for Mandalore rather than taking, all that time that we could have used to kind of further on with the story. And it seems as if like Mandalore is just the tip of the iceberg of what's going to happen. It seems as if they're really just setting up the pieces to really explore the world building that is Mandalore, and that way it'll allow us to understand what's going to happen moving forward as we learn more about Mandalore, the Mandalorians, and what this could imply about, the Mandalorian conflict, especially between the old and the new Mandalorians. So I'm assuming that's what it was basically setting up for, because again, it seemed pretty quick that we got straight into that storyline rather than like giving it a bit more time to do the prep, because again, he didn't get the memory stick for the IG-11. Instead, he just got a different droid that would allow it to measure the toxicity of the planet and learn that it is breathable, right? So definitely really interesting that they went straight into it. Again, I mean, in one sense, I'm very happy because again, it doesn't take too much time to get into the preparations of getting into it. It goes straight in. So I'm going to assume that there's going to be far more going on with Mando, and there's probably going to be a far bigger story regarding the whole Mandalorian story that's a bit bigger than we anticipate. That isn't just in the level that is with Din Djarin, but with everyone else that happens to be a part of the Mandalorian, which again, we do see Bo-Katan, like she is once again here. So I'm going to assume that it's going to be preparing for something that's going to be far bigger for season 3. And in this one, yeah, we see with Bo-Katan, like she's very involved. Like I think one of the things I really appreciate with this episode is how we are again understanding the world building of what is Mandalore, what Mandalore used to be, and a lot of that, of course, the best way to really get the sense of the nostalgia that used to be Mandalore is to hear the stories about it, right? And we get that straight from Bo-Katan, who, of course, like lived there. She lived there her whole life. She is a royal, so she knows the deep underpinnings of the whole planet. She knows the history behind it. She understands the structures and everything. She knows everything. She's probably one of the most knowledgeable people about Mandalore. I mean, this is the one thing she was pretty much obsessing over for like a long time, and trying to regain her her title as a major royal, someone who is able to lead a whole Mandalorian, which of course like was kind of diverted with what happened in season 2 when it was Din Djarin who won against Moff Gideon and not Bo-Katan. So lots of interesting things with that. Like, I mean, it's really nice that they pulled back in Bo-Katan, and as well as giving us again the world building of what is Mandalore, allowing us to understand like the moons that are centering around the planet, as well as giving us an idea of how it all is kind of interconnected. Like, it makes a lot more sense now with like the Concordia, where Bo-Katan is, as well as the fact that there is the planet Mandalore. So yeah, lots of really great interesting things. I feel like I learned a lot about Mandalore just from this episode alone, like and which again I feel like it's going to continue to be a big part of what season 3 is going to be about. And again, I mean, one of the things that was really kind of like I thought was a really big gag throughout this episode is that Mando was basically the damsel in distress. Like, I kept mentioning that, like he needed to be saved many times, which I'm just wondering like what was the processing for that. But I mean, the fact is, I guess it kind of shows that because Din Din Djarin doesn't know much about Mandalore. He never lived there. He was never born there. He only heard the stories about it. I guess it can just shows like kind of his, amateurish of like, he doesn't really know much about this planet, even though he may think that he may know the planet by heart, right? But I mean, who knows? Like, we'll probably see like something about this maybe in future episodes. Just like, again, just the fact that he needed to keep being saved, like that was something that really just struck up with me. Like, he had to be saved by Bo-Katan twice. So I don't know if that's supposed to imply something about like what the relationship is going to be like moving forward. Because again, one of the things I was pretty surprised about as well is that I wasn't getting the vibes of Bo-Katan being the villain of this season. Like, I think that was kind of what they were setting up for based upon the trailers. But in this, as of this point, I mean, again, it's too early to say. We're only in episode 2, but from this episode alone, like, it seems as if that isn't really the case. The one line where she's like saying, "Oh, you think that he's the only Mandalorian?" Like, I mean, it sounded as if like that was implying something very villainous, but as we see in this episode, that was not really the case. It was just, her having a conversation with Grogu. So, of course, like a lot of things, the trailer kind of hyped up too much. Maybe, again, it's from the looks of it, a lot of what we see in the trailers is what we see in this episode. So it seems as if they hit a lot of the big parts of what is going to be this whole season, for kind of hiding that and not really giving away what's going to happen later on in the season, which I'm okay with. I'm someone who doesn't want to be spoiled. Like, I would love to see, I like to go blind into these episodes, especially like any big situations. Like, I want to see them in a way that I'm not being spoiled, and if that's the case, I appreciate that. But yeah, no, with this one, I feel like everything that we saw from the trailers kind of was basically integrated into this part. Like, every big part was from the trailer was basically seen in this one. Like, the one part where we see Grogu fight off like the creature, the part where she may set the line about you think that he's the only Mandalorian. Yeah, I mean, those are the ones that really stuck out. But I wonder what this is going to mean moving forward. Again, it sounds as if this is going to put a closer look into what's going to happen between Bo-Katan and Mando and the relationship moving forward. I mean, it seems as if they're going to really do a lot more exploration into the planet Mandalore, especially because, again, the way that Bo-Katan reacts to the sea monster down there in the mine, like, it seems really concerning. It seems as if it's something that she did not anticipate. So I wonder what that's about. Like, that looks to be what episode 3 is going to be the focus of. And as for Grogu, right? I mean, of course, like, Grogu, the cutest little thing ever. I mean, let's talk about Grogu because, like, I mean, every time he is always on the screen, he's the cutest little munchkin that you just want to hug. And let's just say, I think he did say his first word. That sounds like his first word. So I wonder if we're finally getting to a point where he is now about to start talking like the way that he did with Yoda. Like, the way that we heard Yoda talk. Like, I wonder what this will mean. Like, is he going to talk in a similar way as Yoda did, or is he going to be more like Yaddle? Lots of questions about that, of course. And I know that there's a lot of, like, theories about his species. So that's going to be another big question right there. So I think that the fact that he spoke his first words, it's like a big thing. Is this something that's going to become something that's going to develop over time? Who knows? Maybe. So I wonder if we're going to see a bit more of this growth that is Grogu, given the implications that we saw in today's episode and what this would mean for Grogu. Like, does this mean that we're going to kind of get closer to understanding what happened to him like so many years ago? Are we going to understand what his species is, where he where the origin of species are, basically kind of like a deep dive of who of who he and his kind are from. Like, I wonder if that's going to finally kind of be unleashed this season. Who knows? But yeah, no, as once again, like, I mean, Grogu is just the cutest little thing, as always. I mean, we saw him trying to use the Force, and we're seeing kind of the good and bad of it. Like, you can see where in one case he was able to use the powers to really defend himself, but then at the same time he wasn't able to use his powers to fullest potential, which we already seeing the consequences of that, which again, like, I wonder what that's going to imply by the time we get to the end of season 3. Like, are we going to start seeing a bit of the issues of of Grogu not really basically training properly with Luke Skywalker as he should have, and what would this imply for Grogu's story moving forward? Is this something that is going to lead to a much darker route that has been kind of been implied for a couple times throughout this series, that like, you know, if you can't properly control yourself, as well as, you know, following the rules of the Jedi, like it's going to put you in the dark path, like the way that we saw with Anakin? Or, you know, are we just kind of taking things a bit too, you know, we're just taking things a bit too over the top, or we're just, you know, concluding things too soon? Like lots of questions about that, because again, like we do see Grogu here, he is still pretty central. I mean, I feel like this is an episode where I think I saw Grogu the most time in terms of screen time. I mean, I can't confirm that, but it seems as if this is the most I've seen Grogu in an episode. So I wonder if they amped up the budget for The Mandalorian since, but definitely nice thing to see a lot of Grogu in this episode. Again, like some of the action that we do see him, just to see his expression in this whole episode today, just the concerns, the happiness, the scariness, the sadness. I mean, this is a kid who continues to be the heart of everything. Like one of the reasons why everyone loves this show, like he happens to be the soul of the show. And again, like I can't imagine just like how the relationship is going to be like between Grogu and Mando moving forward. Again, like some of the daddy moments I see like right here, like that was a really cute thing. But yeah, I think that's all I would say. I mean, like this is a pretty good episode overall. Like I really appreciate the fact that we got to really dive into Mandalore and understand like the whole world building, as well as the history behind it, or at least glimpses of like what the history was, and like even a deeper look into how the city used to look like, or how civilization used to look like before its destruction, as well as seeing where the relationships have been so far between Din and Bo-Katan, and what this would also mean for Grogu and Din moving forward. And again, not a lot of clues as to what, you know, this episode is going to lead up to, although again, the only thing that we're probably going to get by the next episode is maybe understanding who that sea monster is in the mine. But aside from that, there isn't really anything else to say. Again, I think it's a pretty solid episode that, again, it's just really slowly taking its time to set up the story without being too redundant and or being too granular and like trying to set up the things. I mean, it's important to be detailed, but not doing so in a way that's redundant, and just go straight into like what's going on in Mando's journey. And it seems as if it's going to be setting up for something far more bigger, because again, this was the mission that we all were told that he was going to be on, and now it seems as if he kind of already got, you know, finished his journey. So what does this mean moving forward? And I feel like it's just setting up for something far more bigger. So I can't wait to see what this big storyline is going to be. But yeah, that's all I have to say about The Mandalorian episode 2. What are your thoughts overall? What do you think about this episode? Like, did you enjoy? Did you not? How do you compare this to the premiere? I know a lot of people were kind of a bit decisive about it because it was a bit too fast paced. How do you feel about this one? Do you think the pacing was a lot better? Do you think that because it was far more, you know, focused on the Mandalore aspect, that it allowed us to kind of get a better idea of what the planet is, giving a deeper dive about it? What do you think this means, knowing that, you know, that Mando kind of already succeeded in his journey? Like, what does this mean moving forward? What are your theories of what this could imply for what the rest of the season is going to lead up to? And yeah, overall, what are your thoughts overall? Anything that you think that I may have missed? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe.